She's a very good player, adds to the inside game. Head coach J.D. Gravinia said, we're known for shooting threes. McCowan adds to the inside. It's allowed us to be more consistent, but they can still light up the three-point arc with the best of them, maybe. Nearly 40% as a team, second in the OVC. They have the top 2 three-point shooters in the OVC with McDermott and Meadows. And poor Chicago State, 18 threes for Western Illinois in that game a couple of weeks ago.
Well, for Cincinnati, the three-point ball needs to fall. Over the last 3 games, Cincinnati has struggled, and Western Illinois is going to shine from that three-point line.
And AB, you bring up a good point, because Cincinnati hasn't shot the three-point ball well at all this season. They haven't defended the three-point ball well this season. They're last in the Big 12 at defending the three-point line. So certainly something to watch today.
For Cincinnati, they need to make sure they move the basketball east and west. Western Illinois is going to have their hands high. They have to be disruptive inside.
Hilton trying to take it inside, and a wild shot at the end of it. The rebound to McCowan, her first. And it's poked away from the back by Hilton. 3-on-1 here for the Bearcats. Reagan Jackson, the pull-up. She got fouled, and it goes down.
When you talk about energy for Cincinnati, you have to say Reagan Jackson's name. She's dynamic, she's so aggressive. Look for her to keep her head up and always have her head on a swivel to find a passer, but take the shot and get the and one when she needs.
So how about that for a sequence? A wild shot, and then a poke away, and then an and one, and Reagan Jackson converts the three-point play to open the scoring.
All right,
pressure for Cincinnati, and it pays off.
And this is what Cincinnati does. They'll extend into this 2-2-1, cause deflections, and again, quick shots, another one with Reagan Jackson.
That's an area of focus for this Western Illinois team. Coach Gravinia said they sometimes get frazzled with some pressure, and you're seeing it right now. A hard foul by Allie Meadows will put Hilton at the line. But this press for Cincinnati, early dividends paying off.
Tanea Hilton comes in for the Bearcats. She is a transfer who brings instant offense, adds to that quick backcourt for the Bearcats.
Well, puts Hilton at the line. She is 6th in the Big 12 in free throw percentage. 84% individually. Cincinnati overall leads the Big 12 in free throw percentage, 79% as a group. And they get to the line a lot, and they're converting. A quick 7-0 burst for the Bearcats, and they keep the pressure on. Western Illinois starting lineup, a very good one. 4 different players averaging 10 or more points. McDermott, Nicastro, Meadows, Brownfield, and McCowan. Their first offensive set of the game. And it's a 3-ball off the mark for McDermott. Second chance effort for Brownfield didn't work out. Wide open Jackson. Yes. She has 7 of Cincinnati's first 10.
Reagan Jackson, we talk about her energy, and right now for Cincinnati, who's struggling from the three-point line, she's going to be their go-to.
Trying something inside. McCowan couldn't get it the first time, and she'll be earning a trip to the line.
Western Illinois has to stay aggressive on the boards. There's going to be, we talked about their three-point shooting, Anthony, there's going to be a lot of quick threes and some long rebounds. If Western Illinois can send 3 or maybe even 4 to the glass at times, they might be able to clean up.
McCowan 81% at the line this season. Just a very impressive player. As a freshman last year, she was freshman of the year in the OVC, all-conference first team, all-conference new team. Makes them both. And she is leading the OVC in the early part of the season in both points and rebounding. Hilton to the corner. Jackson tries to stay hot. That one rims out. There's Ndiba for the offensive rebound and the putback.
Allianz Ndiba is a humongous addition to this Bearcat roster, especially with her rebounding.
Brownfield, the good dump off, and a miss right around the rim for Nicastro. The St. Louis transfer, who's added an element inside as well to what is usually a three-point shooting bunch.
So Western Illinois switching defenses here, going to man-to-man.
And it bothered Hayes inside, and a tie-up as well Western Illinois possession.
Western Illinois is deceivingly physical right now. We see the body and the contact on Hayes on that post feed.
Meadows beats the press. Meadows, one of those players right at the top of the OVC. She is second in the OVC in three-point percentage despite going 0 of 6 last game. 10 to shoot for Nicastro. Meadows, shot clock winding down. McDermott, I beg your pardon, McCowan. That rims out.
Not a bad shot from McCowan. I like that, and she has the finesse.
Wide open inside, and it rolls off the rim for Ndiba. She couldn't believe it. Brimfield, an OVC player to watch coming into the season. She's taken a bit of a backseat scoring-wise to some of the players that have really emerged. Looking for the handoff, it wasn't there. Now the cutter for Meadows, knocked out of her reach, and Hilton saves it on the baseline.
This is a good defensive sequence right here for Cincinnati, up and aggressive.
The pace has slowed up significantly since that frantic start when Cincinnati was getting out in transition, forcing some turnovers. That's another foul against the Leathernecks, and that's a big one. That's the second on Allie Meadows.
This is going to be a tough man-to-man matchup for Western Illinois. Cincinnati likes to attack, particularly with Tanea Hilton right down the lane lines, which is just a hard angle on a first step defensively to close out on.
J.D. Gravinia, as of right now, sticking with Meadows in the game despite the 2 fouls. He did just bring in Kaylin Reed. She took out Mallory McDermott. Reed is one of the floor generals. Really breaks down the defense well, makes things happen as they search for some offense. 2 more at the line for Hilton. The lead is 12 through the first 3.5 minutes for Cincinnati. Brimfield, little hesitation, and runs into Hayes. Entry feed to McCowan. Mismatch here against Jackson, and elevates and connects.
Well, Reagan McCowan immediately showing that inside-outside attack that she has.
Chloe Mann is in for Cincinnati along with Brianna Byers as well. It's been a good start to this game for Jackson. Floats the pass to Mann. Now down to Hayes. She'll try to get going on the follow-away jumper. It's short.
Well, Jillian Hayes has such an aggressive game. That finesse kind of short corner fadeaway is a new element that she's adding.
Over to Reed, and now Nicastro. Very good player at St. Louis the last couple of years, and dragged the feet.
Nicastro's been aggressive offensively inside. She needs to keep going right at Hayes. Those are good shots for the second leading scorer for Western Illinois.
Now, Cincinnati's coaching staff will be familiar with Nicastro, AB. When she was playing at St. Louis a couple of years ago, Nicastro scored 13 points against Katrina Merriweather, the now head coach for Cincinnati, who at the time was at Memphis. She spent a handful of years at Memphis, including one of those years when she played against Nicastro when she was a Billiken, and now her second season with Cincinnati.
In Coach Merriweather's second season, as you say, with Cincinnati, and 9th overall. She's been around, recruited a lot, and seen a lot, and really developing a nice relationship tree across women's basketball.
Too long for Delaney Snyder, who's into the game, along with Abby Holtman. She couldn't get the second chance points. And a tie up inside, a body on the floor as well. That is Meadows down. She popped up with no harm. And it's a tie-up. It'll be Western Illinois basketball when we return. Down by 10, the Leathernecks in the early going. For a 5-1 start for his group this year, AB, but he was very quick to say, I'm cautiously optimistic. Sometimes good things sour, sometimes sour things can sweeten, but he's encouraged by what he sees more than just the 5-1 start.
And when you look at the breadth of experience that Coach Gravina brings to Western Illinois over the years and then prior, you can see why he has confidence in the process.
Catch and shoot for Brownfield too strong. Snyder elevated for the rebound. Now in the hands of Chloe Mann, a McDonald's All-American nominee, entering the Bearcats program, and she's lived up to that, about 8 points per game through the first 7 games of the year as a freshman. Although she struggled the last couple of games, she was 1 of 9 in the last game against Central Connecticut State. Wild pass down low, taken away by Kaylin Reed. Meadows lines up the 3. Second chance for McCowan. Meadows got the defender in the air. Nicastro inside, the pull-up, yes. Mia Nicastro out of St. Louis, knocking in her first bucket.
We've seen Nicastro get some touches inside, and this time from the perimeter, gets Delaney Snyder up on her feet with that simple shot fake.
Mann the step through, and gets the bounce off the back rim.
You talk about Mann as a freshman, you see her adding this nice finesse mid-range game. She is under the tutelage of some great experienced teammates.
Good press break here. Brownfield, she's had a tough night so far in this game. Byers leads the break for Cincinnati, not something you'll see all too often. Mann trying to get downhill and got fouled.
Well, Western Illinois choosing to stay in the man-to-man defense. Again, we talked about Cincinnati with the dribble drive offense, and Chloe Mann just so quick with her first step.
Was that a pun there, AB? They're sticking in their man-to-man?
Man-to-man on man.
See?
You catch all of those.
I try. First one rims out for Mann. Now, what they're working with Mann on, the Cincinnati staff, is concentrating more on winning plays. She is a high-effort player, high-energy player, but Coach Merriweather telling us with Mann there's a difference between hard-working plays and winning plays, something they're dialing in on with the freshman.
That's right, and see right there, Mann jumps up, gets a deflection within the defense using her straight athleticism. And then on offense is when you want to learn how to turn the dial to the appropriate tempo for each possession.
Hand off to McDermott, who's back in. Bounce pass over to Reed, and she connects. It's a long 2 for Kaylin Reed, who averages just about 3 points per game.
And at only 5'5", Kaylin Reed really has to be technical and quick with her shot.
Hayes tries to get going. Lit on the basket for her so far. A jump pass by Hilton to Ndiba, and then saved on the baseline, and a foul against McDermott.
Well, this is going to be tough for Western Illinois. 5 team fouls now, putting Cincinnati in the bonus. And what caused it? Alliance Ndiba trying to save the ball on the baseline to teammate Tanea Hilton.
We've already mentioned it, AB. This Cincinnati team gets to the line a ton, and they are the best free throw shooting team in the Big 12, 79%. It's one thing to get there, but then you have to make them. Cincinnati sure does.
And for as good that Cincinnati is at the three-point line, the struggles on the three-point line don't necessarily seem to match. But Coach Merriweather is okay with that because that's just the style that they're committed to playing offensively, get to the rim.
Good swing around for McCowan. She missed everything. She had a good look at the 3 ball. Dunn in transition. She's long too.
A quick shot for Daly Dunn, who is a capable and solid three-point shooter.
Trailer 3, Brownfield, yes.
Nice shot by Brownfield. Western Illinois moving the ball quickly in transition, trying to get that basket right back.
The scoring a bit down for Brownfield this year. She's taken a back seat to the newcomer Nicastro. Obviously, McCowan takes a lot of shots. But she had a very good season last year. She was named the OVC preseason player to watch list. A bank in 3, she'll take it. Reagan McCowan knocks one in.
So Reagan McCowan right now, this is why she leads Western Illinois now for scoring 2 years in a row. She's just dynamic from multiple dimensions on the court.
And that's why, AB, you can never count this Leatherneck team out. Once they start making a few threes, they shoot 39%. They can be a dangerous team and get back in despite any deficit. No dice for Mann. Hilton to the offensive glass. She's had quite the first quarter.
Well, Western Illinois trying to combat Tanea Hilton's basket, immediately throwing the ball up the court aggressively, trying to break this press quickly, but a turnover.
Miscommunication, done with the steal, over to Hilton. And she's going back to the line once again.
That's a tough break for Western Illinois. You mentioned the momentum starting to swing a little bit in their favor, but an unforced turnover leads to another transition attempt for Cincinnati. And of course, who else but Tanea Hilton just driving aggressively at the basket.
It was Reed who stepped in to try to take the charge, and that was her second. So now 2 fouls on Reed, 2 fouls on Meadows. Reed stays in, presumably for the offensive possession for Western Illinois, but some early decisions running through the head of J.D. Gravina. Hilton, meanwhile, now with 9 points in the first quarter. 7 of them, AB, have come at the line.
Free throw line, free throw line. This is really impressive how Cincinnati is making such a established mark. Coach Merriweather is very clear for every game. Team goals, 3 of the same ones consistently include score at the free throw line.
Long pass tracked down by McDermott. Leathernecks a chance for the final possession, but McCowan, good look at the basket, taken away at the last second by Ndiba. And a foul will go in the other way. It'll be more free throws for Cincinnati. McCowan a little bit frustrated. She missed the layup, and she just picked up her second.
What's going to be tough for Western Illinois in all of these fouls, not only does it put Cincinnati at the free throw line and give attempts on the shot or in the bonus. Secondly, you're going to have players in a quagmire, such as your leading scorer in Reagan McCowan. But third, it really affects morale. And in a game that's going to be reliant on physicality, Western Illinois, it's going to be important that they keep their morale and their mojo tight.
Well, J.D. Gravina told us you kind of come in playing with house money when you're the mid-major school on the road against a Power 4 team, but the early foul was putting his team behind the 8 ball. 5 seconds left in the quarter. Reed swings it. McDermott at the buzzer. It is short. So Cincinnati, when we partner with the V Foundation to highlight the urgent need for cancer research, this is game-changing research that helps save lives, and you can join the fight against cancer by visiting v.org/donate. 100% of your donation goes directly to cancer research. You just heard that from Dick Vitale. He knows a thing or two about battling cancer. Still going through his recovery, wishing him the best, wishing everybody else out there the best. And again, that is v.org/donate, and every donation matters.
Generation after generation.
A second quarter here in Cincinnati. The Bearcats lead Western Illinois by 10. That rims out for Hilton, who was a star in the first quarter. She had 10 points to lead all scorers.
Getting to the free throw line is what really did it for Tanea Hilton.
That's going to go the other way. A foul beneath the basket. Castro went down. And it's against Alliance and Ndiba.
Not so bad for the Bearcats. Alliance Ndiba is doing her job. She's attacking the glass and being aggressive on the offensive and the defensive boards.
That's now the second on Ndiba. So 3 with 2 fouls for Western Illinois, and now Ndiba picks up her second early in the second quarter. Reed is playing with 2 right now for Western Illinois. She'll feed into Castro. Working on Hilton. This is a mismatch here, but picked up the dribble. Now McCown runs out of room, but a push foul first on Brianna Byers.
Well, initially you look at that possession and you think missed opportunity for Western Illinois because it was mouse in the house with Castro. But Western Illinois sticking with the play and drawing a foul on Cincinnati.
Brownfield just came back in. Madison Davis, the freshman, checked out. McCowan thought she got grabbed. No whistle.
Definitely some contact there from Ariel Jackson from Cincinnati, but no call.
Castro, I beg your pardon, McCown. I just combined two names there. McCown has been a bit flustered in this game. That's a good hand-eye coordination from McCown to knock it away.
So Western Illinois made that run in the first quarter with that three-point shooting, but Cincinnati's adjusted and now back to getting some defensive stops, but not converting on the other end. 2 turnovers in a row now, trying to go Tanea Hilton to Hayes, but Hilton.
It's getting contagious here. Now the pull-up in transition for Jackson, and Ariel Jackson knocks it in.
So turnover, turnover, missed shot, turnover, turnover. Ariel Jackson quieting it down with that made bucket.
Quick trigger is long for McCown. Second chance though, McDermott, the drive, and lost it. Still loose. Hayes gets upended. And that's Brownfield, the guilty party there. Her first.
Brownfield coming up from that possession with a little bit of a limp on her leg as she's hustling, and Jillian Hayes and she both going for that loose ball, but Hayes able to come up with it. And Western Illinois continuing to be plagued by some fouls here.
Well, that was the biggest concern for J.D. Gravina, the athleticism and length of a Big 12 team, and felt that his team didn't handle pressure very well sometimes, and once they got frazzled, it took them a while to get back into it. It's been improving, but we're seeing it here in the first half. Good hands once again, but deflects right to Hayes, who's had a really tough go of it. 0 of 5 now from the floor, and no points for a player averaging a double-double.
Hayes is facing a lot of physicality down low. Western Illinois pushing her off of the block.
In and out for McCowan. So both of the players, AB, we talked about, McCowan and Hayes, struggling in the first half.
Defenses are locked in on star players. There's always a game plan, and the team always, usually, remembers what that game plan of attack is on the leading scorer. That's when you need the supporting cast, your second, third, even fourth leading scorer, as is Cincinnati with Reagan Jackson.
She has 10 points, 2 Bearcats in double figures, 10 apiece for Hilton and Reagan Jackson.
Reagan Jackson actually the 5th on average for Cincinnati in scoring, but she's a gamer. She knows when it's time to turn up the heat just a little bit.
Coach Merriweather says she just competes. She's limited in her ball handling capabilities, but just the intangible. She'll step in and take a charge. She'll knock down a shot. She hustles, plays good defense, makes up for the ball handling in other areas. Turnaround hook shot goes down for Nichols. Jasmine Nichols, her first touch, her first action, and making it count.
Jasmine Nichols immediately coming in and giving this offensive physicality right back to Cincinnati.
Jackson just ran into a wall, and that leads to an injury for Western Illinois with a whole bunch of legs getting tied up there. And a player down, that's Kennedy Flanagan, I believe, for Western Illinois.
Yeah, this is a tough possession here. We see Flanagan grabbing her right ankle, and
oh, it's Reed, I beg your pardon.
Reagan Jackson on this drive. The hands go up, and Reed gets her hand on the ball, almost to pull a jump ball.
Oh, sorry for the misidentification there. It is Kaylin Reed, not Kennedy Flanagan. But Reed is the one that immediately went down and grabbed that lower leg ankle area. Now, Reed's such an important player to this group. She's top 10 in the OVC in assists per game, and she has to get carried off the floor.
This is critical not only for Western Illinois, who's obviously concerned about their teammate and her ankle, But then when you go and look at the foul situation, the depth may be a factor in this game. And we've seen how Western Illinois can go on a 3-point scoring run.
It's tough for Reed as well. She was injured a bit earlier this season as well, and she's been on the mend. So hopefully that's nothing long-term for Reed, and she can get back in this game and continue to contribute for the Leathernecks. Action continues. It's still a 12-point advantage for Cincinnati, but Western Illinois has only scored 2 points in this second quarter, and they're not going to score any on this possession with another turnover.
Cincinnati's hands are up, active.
Hilton knifing inside, and she might as well buy some real estate at this free throw line, AB, because she's going back for the 5th time already.
Tanea Hilton driving down the lane line yet again. We've said she's already 8 for 8 from the free throw line in this game.
That's a foul on Brownfield, her second. So Hilton, we've seen her a lot at this free throw line to begin the game. She is 8 of 8. She has thrice set a career high with 20 against UIC Davidson and most recently against Florida Gulf Coast. And this is a player, AB, at Texas A&M. She wasn't asked to score a lot, and she's still not the #1 option with Jillian Hayes in Cincinnati, but she's been asked to score a little bit more, and she's answered the call.
When Tanea Hilton arrived on campus, the entire Bearcat locker room was excited about her point guard abilities. Her scoring, yeah, that was an afterthought, but it was her leadership and ability to pass and distribute the ball. And as you said, she's just taking what the court is giving her.
Out to Hayes with 15 to shoot. Hilton will try from long range.
Well, most coaches don't work on reverse pivot baseline threes, but Tanea Hilton wanted to give it a go, and then Western Illinois right back with another baseline corner 3.
Off the mark for McDermott there. Still trying to get Hayes going on the fall away. It's too long again. McCown the rebound. Meadows peels back out. She had 7 of the 18 threes in that win against Chicago State when the Leathernecks set their season high with 18 makes from long range. And the 7 tied a single game program record. And you can see why she can be so lethal. Nothing but net there for Meadows for her first bucket.
Well, Allie Meadows needed to get some momentum back for Western Illinois.
Still down 10. Only 5 points in this second quarter as a team. Hilton, the drive, and the layup.
She makes it look easy. She takes what the defense is giving her, and Cincinnati with the spread court has no post player at the rim, which means no post defender at the rim.
A gamble for Hayes leaves Nicastro open, and she rattles it in.
Nicastro, she was a little quiet at the beginning of the game, only 4 points right now, but as many touches as she's getting, the offense is running a lot through her hands.
Nicastro is top 10 in the OVC in 5 different offensive categories, including 5th in scoring. She leads the conference in field goal percentage. Off the back rim for Reagan Jackson. Byers with a one-handed offensive rebound. No dice for Jackson, and Reagan McCowan rips away the rebound a couple of times until Hayes came in there to try to pull it away. And fortuitous there for the Leathernecks. Nicastro picked it up. Meadows got tripped, no whistle. And nobody paying attention to the wide open Reagan Jackson. What happened there?
Well, when the 8 players on the court turned the dial down to watch Western Illinois on the court, not Reagan Jackson. She turned it up, sprinted in transition.
I think everybody expected a foul once Meadows went down, but it wasn't called. And it led to the easy layup for Reagan Jackson. It goes to show when you hold on to the basketball, good things bound to happen.
Against Seton Hall, Cincinnati committed 23 turnovers, and against Florida Gulf Coast, 18. But like you said, on the flip side, they're forcing turnovers as well. Another forced turnover for Cincinnati.
And that's 11 turnovers in this game for Western Illinois. Maya Bird into the game. She's setting the screen for Byers. Now the kick, and it's short for Jackson. Byers the offensive rebound.
Cincinnati with this lineup in now 3 forwards on the court, and typically we'll see at the start of the game there's going to be 3 guards.
Out to Bird, now to Snyder. Good position inside for Delaney Snyder.
That was a nice lob pass from the wing. Lori Pirtle may be cringing, but Katrina Merriweather lets wing lobs go in.
Cut to the basket, but McDermott dropped it. And Western Illinois, it's tough to count them out of any game the way they can shoot, AB, but they just continue to shoot themselves in the foot.
Western Illinois clearly frustrated and out of a rhythm. This is where they need to rely on the leadership, and that is going to come from right now on the court. McDermott and Nicastro have to provide some stability.
Jackson burst to speed and a pass inside. Another easy bucket down low for Snyder.
Reagan Jackson getting the assist down to Snyder.
Jackson, 12 points. She's now added an assist to her line. The lead is 16 for Cincinnati. Meadows. Off the mark from 3. Offensive rebound, McCown. She has now 9 rebounds in this game. A travel from Jasmine Nichols.
So on the Cincinnati end of the court, Reagan Jackson, she turns the corner. She has her head up. We saw her do it early in the game in transition and now in the half court. Able to find Delaney Snyder on the opposite side of the lane after drawing so much attention. And you look at what Tanea Hilton was able to do to get to the free throw line. What that does is it makes the entire defense shift over and it swarm the basketball.
Snyder 4 points, the benefit of a couple of dump downs. Good position inside for the sophomore. Holtman cut off on the baseline, she's doubled. Man, the long 3. Rebound for Nicastro. As Brownfield went down under the basket, she pops right back up. And now rejoins the play. Nice step through from Addie Brownfield, everything but the finish. Nicastro got fouled from behind.
Well, the look of relief for Western Illinois, who has continuously been aggressive attacking the rim. And this possession, when the first shot doesn't go in off of the nice lane line drive and step through by Brownfield, Nicastro cleans up the backside board, able to catch it high and keep it high.
AB, Western Illinois is hanging in there on the glass against Cincinnati. Only -2, and that's something the Bearcats certainly hang their hat on. And even Western Illinois this year, they're +5 in rebound margins. So really good rebounding teams in this game tonight.
Western Illinois has 5 offensive rebounds. And when you look at Cincinnati's front line, Alion Sandiba, Jillian Hayes, Brianna Byers, Delaney Snyder, this is a tough group to rebound against. So credit Western Illinois and their continued effort.
Cincinnati holding for the final shot. They lead it by 15, despite 0 points in this first half for Jillian Hayes, their star player. Fall away from Mann, and it goes down. An exclamation point to the end of the first half.
Of the past 3 games, Cincinnati has really struggled at the 3.
Cincinnati just taking the floor to begin the second half. Western Illinois 40% from 3 on the season. They are not to be taken lightly, despite the 17-point deficit. But a tall mountain to climb. Pass to Nicastro to get it started.
Tall being the operative word. Because of Cincinnati's length, they're really able to do that. Be disruptive, force a lot of altered shots for Western Illinois, and that time could have been a clean block.
everyone in Cincinnati thought it was.
Jillian Hayes, with the defense, she's one of the leading shot blockers for this team and the Big 12.
It's clean up top. You have to wonder if maybe there was lower body contact, because that's the only really reason there would have been a foul there. McCown capitalizing at the line. 8 points, 9 rebounds now for McCown. Nearly had a double-double in the first half. She goes 1 of 2 at the line, and there's Nicastro. So some early energy for the Leathernecks. Off the mark for McDermott, who has no points in this game. Lob to Hayes. They'll try to get her going early in this second half, and she will on the lay-in.
Well, Reagan Jackson with another assist, and this time to the Bearcats' leading scorer, who's going to perhaps come alive here in the second half.
And how about Reagan McCowan leaping up for the rebound, and the fall-away jumper gets it to go down.
We talked about the offensive rebounding for Western Illinois. They're staying persistent and attacking the boards.
Diva, the screen for Jackson. And a wild pass, she lost her footing. Out of bounds over to Western Illinois.
So in transition, Reagan Jackson with her head up, and Jillian Hayes, phenomenal hands and just a soft touch. She's so strong with the way she does that backward grab dribble, keeps her base on the pivot.
Nicastro buries the 3. Came in at 33% from long range.
Well, Nicastro averaging about 12 points per game, now with 8.
Player that Coach Gravina said makes everybody better around her, but can step out and shoot it herself as well. Saw a glimpse of that there, and Hilton once again going to the free throw line.
So for Western Illinois, the ability to move the basketball all night long. We've seen them go quickly to the next pass opportunity. And this time, Alliance and Diva a little slow on that closeout. Nicastro, quick release.
Well, the three-point shooting is all well and good, AB, but if Western Illinois, number 1, can't stop fouling, and number 2, Cincinnati can't stop making their free throws, the three-point shooting, yes, obviously you'll get back into the game, but Western Illinois needs to clean it up at this end if they want to have any shot at the comeback.
That's right, and we talk about the impact of these fouls and the domino effect that it has on a team when you commit a sequence of fouls, and we see it again. The entire Cincinnati bench is up on their feet. They're getting this momentum and this energy, and even the crowd in their favor because of the fouls of Western Illinois.
That first foul was on Meadows. That was an early third on her, and then that foul was on Brownfield. That's her third as well. So 2 players with 3 fouls for Western Illinois, and 2 more with a pair themselves. Brownfield just picked up her third. 2 of 2 for Alliance and Diva, who transferred in from Arizona Western. She was a junior college All-American. Nicastro trying to clear out some space. Good defense on McCowan.
Cincinnati keeping this ball pressure up high, and Western Illinois having to be patient and methodical to wear down the clock.
Nice finish from Brownfield, who just backed her way into the lane.
Cincinnati right up the court again, quickly, wasting no time.
Hayes called for it, got it, and laid it in.
You cannot replicate that shot by Hayes, the way she's able to keep squared.
And that's an offensive foul, an illegal screen, number 4 on Addie Brownfield. Or did they get it on Meadows?
Third personal, third team foul. It's Bearcats ball.
What makes this tough for Western Illinois is Cincinnati's going over the ball screens and changing up some over-under multiple coverage. Western Illinois is trying to move the screen to make sure that they hit it.
They got that foul on McCowan, her third, on the illegal screen. Good pressure from Brownfield. Jackson, too strong from long range. trailer 3. Brownfield rims out.
That's a good look for Western Illinois. Brownfield is the one who's going to get hot.
A risky pass, trying to force it down low to Hayes. She saved it. Over to Jackson.
So Cincinnati up 16 points now, just almost halfway through.
Right through the legs of Hayes with 2 to shoot. She'll have to heave from mid-court. Almost went in.
Leave it to Jillian Hayes to find a way to squeak something out of that. Almost.
McDermott. McTastro now. Hilton tries to lead the break after grabbing the rebound. Taking it the full 90 feet. Everything but the finish.
Well, when you can secure a defensive rebound like Tanea Hilton just secured and can get in the open court in a one-on-one, with the way she plays, she must attack.
Offense running through Nicastro right now for Western Illinois. And that's a foul fighting through the screen against Ariel Jackson.
So Cincinnati again trying to get over these ball screens and put a lot of pressure, keep Western Illinois playing on their heels. If Cincinnati can keep Western Illinois off balance because of ball pressure, they can then minimize those three-point attempts.
The officials briefly going over this most recent call. Going over to Katrina Merriweather to explain the stoppage. And now back to action.
We can hear the Cincinnati coaches on the sideline yelling ball pressure, a point of emphasis.
Meadows, 7 to shoot. Brownfield. Yes.
That's a nice shot by Allie Brownfield. Now 7 points on the game. She's hit 1 3 so far, and therefore Cincinnati's closing out hard. She gets the shot fake, 1 dribble pull up.
Chasing a deficit, you'll likely see a lot of Brownfield, McCowan, McDermott, Meadows, Nicastro down the stretch. That's starting 5 for Western Illinois. Lob to the corner. Jackson buries the 3.
Well, after looking inside for Jillian Hayes, the defense all collapsed. And then Chloe Mann kept her head up and was able to find Reagan Jackson in that deep corner for the 3.
A trip on Bird. Such a quick first step, AB, for Reagan McCowan.
Reagan McCowan plays low. She's in a sound, solid triple threat.
That foul brings us to a break. 4:51 to go in the third quarter. Things starting to open up a bit for the Leathernecks. Brownfield is getting going. But the answer at the other end for Cincinnati on the long skip to Reagan Jackson, who has 15. .org/donate. 17-point advantage for the Bearcats over the Leathernecks here in Cincinnati. Anthony Mazzini and AB Stocks with you. Already a double-double for Reagan McCowan, and she is stripped on the inbound, 3-on-2, favoring the Bearcats. Mans the open player and rims out from 3. Hayes has the second chance opportunity. Jackson's been the hot hand, and it stays that way. A new season high for Reagan Jackson tonight, who has 18. Well, she's tied her career high with that make.
Reagan Jackson averages 5.5 points per game and second on the team in minutes. Dynamic. Second three-point shot, and again, another Cincinnati possession off of a forced turnover on the other end.
She's tied her career high, she said, against Tennessee State last season. She's tied her season high in three-point makes with 3. That's a turnover. McCowan came away with the steal and a good crossover to evade Hilton. Everything but the finish. Nicastro is now in double figures in rebounding with that most recent grab. And then she got grabbed. So you're looking at potentially dual double-doubles for Western Illinois tonight. McCowan already has 10 and 10. And now for Nicastro, she has 8 points and 10 rebounds.
And this is also on the season, the 2 leading scorers for Western Illinois and the 2 leading rebounders.
Nifty pass from Brownfield. McCowan frees herself, but it's just been a lid on the basket tonight. Meadows, the drive, the floater, yes, for Allie Meadows.
That's a nice shot by Allie Meadows. On the season, she's averaging 11.2 points per game.
Been a quiet night, just 5 points, but a lot of the star power has struggled, especially efficiency tonight. Hilton spun it in. Chance for a 3-point play.
So as quick as Tanea Hilton is getting around the corner and down that lane, how quickly was that release? And then she had enough savvy to put just the right amount of English spin on this basketball. You see there with that first explosive first step. And although her body was under the rim, what a savvy shot.
That's the 4th foul on Meadows. Rims out for Hilton. A foul on the floor on the rebound. And the fouls, you hate to beat a dead horse and sound like a broken record, but it just continues to be a major story against Leathernecks in this game.
Well, the tough call was that it was on a technical box out. So Western Illinois down low on the free throw line. It looks like Addie Brownfield was on the box out assignment on Jillian Hayes. She got inside position, but was crouched so low that Hayes was able to lean right over and grab the rebound. Brownfield stayed in her box out. Hayes gets to the line.
Well, the Bearcats in the bonus now. Been a much better second half here for Hayes, who was scoreless in the first half. She has 5 points in this third quarter alone.
We talk about how good Cincinnati is from the free throw line and saying just about 80% for the game.
1 of 2 there for Hayes. So Meadows staying out there with the 4 fouls. So important to this team at this point. What do you have to lose if you're Western Illinois? That's out of the reach of Flanagan, and another turnover. Man, Euro step, and another foul. That is the 4th on Brownfield, who's the lone player back defensively. Just a good move from Mann.
This is the risk reward of crashing the offensive boards. Western Illinois only has 1 defender back on defense, and Cincinnati, with Tanea Hilton, the ball in her hand, she's able to go head up quickly to the dynamic athlete, superstar, Chloe Mann, who just gets down the court so fast. Too much for Western Illinois to absorb.
Obviously, you have to give a lot of credit to Cincinnati for forcing the issue and forcing Western Illinois to be out of position and commit some of these fouls. But there has to be a point at some point, AB, that you got to be more disciplined defensively, right? You know you're playing with 3, 4 fouls. You don't want to surrender the basket, but you got to stand straight up and just be a player there to disrupt the shot, not try to make a hero play.
And the challenging thing for Western Illinois is because Cincinnati has the height and the physical advantage, they're running out of ways to be disruptive and throw Cincinnati off when they're at the rim.
Turnaround shot, McCowan finally draws the benefit of a foul. Seemed like everything had been going against Western Illinois, and McCowan a chance to go to the line.
Well, that right there on that possession, Cincinnati committing what you just described, Anthony, on this end. Ramaya Bird for the Bearcats had the opportunity to continue to just be straight up, and she would have altered McCowan's shot perhaps just enough. McCowan, smart player, she's experienced. We mentioned as a sophomore, the leading scorer of the team, able to get to the line.
2 of 2 for McCowan.
Western Illinois trying to stay within their matchup zone, coverage.
Hilton through traffic. Another whistle against the Leathernecks. Today, Hilton will be shooting her 14th and 15th free throws in just a minute.
What you like so much about Tanea's Hilton's game, the Bearcats were excited to have her for her point guard skills. But when you look at what Katrina Merriweather has done in crafting this roster and the balance of the style of play, you have Jillian Hayes, who known for her bully ball, but can add so many dimensions to her game. And then at the point guard spot, you have an aggressive player attacking the rim. When you have 1 and 5 very aggressive at the rim, 2, 3, and 4 have a lot of creativity to be free with the basketball.
And that is a travel on the freshman Madison Davis. Madison Davis comes from Flossmoor, Illinois. I feel like all dentists should come from Flossmoor, Illinois.
You may have a high-ranked dental college.
It's like the town in Indiana called, I think it's called Santa Claus, Indiana, as that rattles in for Ariel Jackson. But yeah, Flossmoor, Illinois. I laughed when I was going through my research of Madison Davis. Feels like a dentist's dream. Out of the range of Nichols, who tried to carve out space inside.
West Illinois just trying to find ways to get the ball inside, particularly into McCastro, who was working for position.
Well, it appeared early in this third quarter, Western Illinois had a burst of energy. Jackson tries for a new career high, and she has 21 to set her new mark.
Well, Reagan Jackson is just out here having fun playing basketball. Last year, she had to pick up a lot of slack and play the point guard, but now she gets to go back to her natural position, just be competitive, aggressive. In this possession, off of the ball screen, Jackson comes around, simple handoff, and she pivots, 1-2 step, flawless form.
So that's 21 for the sophomore. A new career high watermark. And she's tied her career high with 4 made threes as well. It's been a tough night for Mallory McDermott, who was first in the OVC in three-point field goal percentage, but she is 0 of 5 tonight. Well, for Reagan Jackson, she set her previous season high on Tuesday against Central Connecticut State, and now setting a career high tonight after what was a very encouraging freshman year. Didn't have the best first few games of the season, AB, but now in week 4 of the season, starting to find her stride.
Well, Reagan Jackson, she's the player who will do whatever it takes for this Bearcat team to win. If she needs to play 38 minutes, she will. If she needs to score, get assists, rebound, defend the other team's point guard, whatever it takes, she's ready to step up, and this is what you get when the daughter of 2 college athletes.
And her mom, Rhonda, was her high school coach. She adds to her career high with now 23, makes them both at the line. As I was mentioning a moment ago, it seemed like coming into this third, there was some wind in the sails of Western Illinois. The energy was up. They were playing well. They were making some shots, especially with McCastro, who has it now. But the wheels have come tumbling off the wagon. Shelby Bowman is in for the first time tonight for the Leathernecks.
And over the course of the season, this third quarter has been the highest scoring quarter for Western Illinois.
That goes down for Nichols, a good up and under move. Got Snyder caught in the air there, and Jasmine Nichols a chance for a three-point play.
Well, we saw Jasmine Nichols come in the game early and go right at the rim with that nice little hook shot, short kind of baby hook right over the front.
Nice move there for Nichols, who started her career at Moore Park College, spent 3 years there. She's now in her second season with Western Illinois. She's been effective. She has made both of her shots tonight. Man, the leaner, and there was a bump before that.
This is where Cincinnati has an opportunity to focus in on what Coach Merriweather mentioned, which is cleaning up the technicalities within the offense. They know they can rely on their athleticism. They know that they spread the court, they have good first steps and can drive an attack. But can Cincinnati tweak its offense just enough to be disciplined with the details, particularly coming through December and into Big 12 play?
Now, Cincinnati had about a week off, a little bit more than a week, following a multi-team event up in Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island. Played two very good teams. And Coach Merriweather told us when they came back it was not a restart, but a reset. Talked about the buy-in, not following personal instincts. And now a technical from J.D. Gravina and the Western Illinois bench, who was unhappy with a call or maybe lack thereof.
Well, apparently Coach Gravina was trying to converse with official Jamie Broderick, but it did not quite go well. And Coach Gravina feeling apparently disrespected at some point on the court.
Well, Reagan Jackson being tasked to shoot the free throws, and she made them both. So a tech for Coach Gravina.
You know, coaches do a lot for their players, and there's a lot of emotion that goes in to each player. And so when you see coaches go out there and advocate for their team, stick up for their team, and fight for the players out there on the court, getting physically pushed, beat around, and sometimes tackled, you got to credit the coaches.
You have to wonder if that may have been about all the fouls being called. 18 against Western Illinois tonight, only 11 on Cincinnati. 5 left in the quarter. Jackson the floater, and there's another foul going against Western Illinois.
We mentioned limited fouls called against Cincinnati. And offensively, this is what Cincinnati's trying to do. Defend without fouling and draw fouls and get attempts at the free throw line. Ariel Jackson for the Bearcats.
Now, just to put a bow on that point from a couple of moments ago, Coach Merriweather felt coming back from Canada that the team wasn't totally bought in on the game plan at times. They were following personal scripts, personal instincts. That was the restart that Cincinnati wanted to accomplish coming out of that tournament in the long layoff. And that is a rare, rare foul from that part of the floor. And that was a heave with the game clock winding down in the third quarter, and just a bad foul committed by Reagan Jackson here.
Well, while Reagan Jackson may not have made any contact on the way up, as Madison Davis was landing from that half-court heave, Reagan Jackson did not give the shooter enough space to land.
That gives Davis a chance for her first points at the line.
We've seen Madison Davis with the ball in her hands quite a bit this game. So she's had a lot on her shoulders, and she's a freshman.
2 of 3. And the clock winds down in the third. What started okay for Western Illinois unraveled on them. Ended with a tech from their head coach. And the lead is 31 for Cincinnati. They're trying to win back-to-back games. And 1 quarter away from snapping a mini winning streak for the Leathernecks. More. Hayes picked it up a bit in the third quarter as well after going scoreless in the first half. But the story has been the career high for Reagan Jackson and too many fouls and turnovers for Western Illinois. A team that's hard to count out the way they shoot the 3 ball, but a very big deficit entering the fourth and final quarter.
Well, Western Illinois pulling out all the stops now with their 1-3-1, it looks like, zone defense. We've seen some 2-3 matchup. We've seen some zone and some man.
Too strong for Holtman. Long rebound out to McCowan. 2-on-1 here. He's trying to get back late. McCowan pulled up, and it's short. Castro the rebound.
We talked about Nick Castro already in double figures for rebounding.
Needs just 2 points for a double-double. She would join McCowan, who leaves it short on her jumper. Hilton the lob, and a risky pass taken away by Meadows, who's playing with 4 fouls. Weaving through, she'll pull up in transition. Might have a second look here if she wanted it. Reset instead.
Western Illinois should not be shy when shooting at the three-point line. They've got to go ahead and pull it quickly and confidently.
That goes off the ball against Dunn. We asked J.D. Gravina because he was quick to point out we're a three-point shooting team historically, but the additions of Nicastro and McCowan give us an inside element that balances out the offense. And we said, well, do you look for one before the other? And he said, no, we usually take whatever the game flow is, whatever the opponent gives us. And in this situation, AB, down 31, you would think at this point, game script is going to tip more in the three-point shooting category.
Cincinnati is giving Western Illinois three-point looks, and Western Illinois needs to just stay ready with their feet and hands up.
That's good patience. A quick little head jab from Hayes, and freed herself up for 2 more. Castro falling away and buries it. That's a double-double. The second Leatherneck to achieve that tonight, joining McCowan.
Well, at 6'2", Nicastro is the lengthiest player on the roster for Western Illinois.
10 points, 11 boards. Hayes contested catch. And contested layup as well, got fouled.
Cincinnati was able to play very aggressively and quick in the first half. We saw a lot of transition baskets, a lot of up and down, and that's partially why Hayes was so quote-unquote offensively quiet in the first half. Now in this second half, they've settled down and they're going into their half-court offense, moving the basketball and playing through their leader and their leading scorer, Jillian Hayes.
Oh, Hayes, who was scoreless in the first half, has vaulted up to 7 points before this free throw. So tack on one more. Maybe she was scoreless in the first half. She's now 2 points, 1 rebound away from a double-double.
Jilly does it all, and she knows when to do it and when to sit back and let her teammates handle the load.
Brownfield, no space to pass that. Somehow it got to Nicastro, and she lost it at the tail end. Hilton skipping inside. A few more free throws coming. She got kicked in the head at the end of that as well. Good to see her pop back up. I guess I shouldn't say pop, it was a bit labored, but she's back on her feet nonetheless.
Well, Tanea Hilton, so aggressive, just driving quickly down the chute, right into the guts of the court and the defense.
Cincinnati in the last game against Central Connecticut State shot 38 free throws. That was tied 9th in the nation for a single game this year. These 2 free throws from Hilton were the 36th and 37th. That's back-to-back games with more than 35 free throws. And just a couple of trips to the line away from surpassing what was already a season high set last game. That's an offensive foul, and that'll be it on Allie Meadows tonight. She picks up number 5. So her night is done after 24 minutes, 5 points, a rebound, and 2 assists.
Well, a tough break for Western Illinois. There's a lot of game left with over 7 minutes. And when you look at Allie Meadows, you're looking at a player who leads the team in minutes per game at 33.
A 3rd in the OVC in that category, and averages 11 a night. She only finished with 5 tonight. Holtman coming off a career game last time against Central Connecticut State, off the mark from 3. She scored 9 against the Blue Devils. Good look for Dunn, and she splashes it in.
Well, we talked about the dynamic athleticism, and then, of course, there's Daly Dunn, the 2-sport athlete splashing a 3.
She'll be on the outdoor track and field team at Cincinnati, and 1 for McCowan. Bit of intensity there from the sophomore, who's had a tough night and still putting up good numbers.
Well, for Cincinnati, moving the basketball, they find Daly Dunn right at the top of the key.
And McCowan, I mentioned a tough night. How can it be a tough night when you got 13 points, 12 boards, but she's 4 of 17. For the most part, AB, it's been lit on the basket, but just goes to show the player that she is when you're 4 of 17 and you still put up well past a double-double.
And this is a player who averages 21 points per game.
That's a bad pass. Messling, the steal and the score. Mia Messling, redshirt freshman, getting in the scorebook tonight.
Well, Messling just working her way down, and then on the other side, Allianz Ndiba with the nice hands and the solid finish off of another Tanea Hilton assist.
6 points for Ndiba tonight. Looking for the handoff, McCown. Shut off. Bowman. Good little hesitation move there. Got the defender in the air.
Well, Shelby Bowman, 5'6" freshman. She's going to do the simple things that she had to do in high school, which is pause and shot fake.
Daly Dunn, another triple.
Daly Dunn, she made some three-pointers early in the year for Cincinnati. The last few games, they've been relying on her defense on the season, averaging 2 points, but right now with 6.
That's going to put Brownfield at the line.
Cincinnati will just push the ball up the court so quickly, and they're so deep in the corners. And you see the entire Cincinnati bench, well, of course, except for the coaches who are always focused, excited and up and cheering for this dynamic run.
First free throw for Brownfield is good. Daly Dunn's going to be running the 400-meter hurdles in outdoor track, which just sounds like an absolutely disgusting event.
Oh, that is a woman's race.
Better her than us, although you dabbled in track back in the day.
I don't know about no dabble, though, but, you know, we'll just go with it for now.
A tie-up here. Possession arrow will stay with the Leathernecks. Good hustle from Mia Messling, who did not play all of last year. She missed the season due to an injury.
The Leathernecks moving down on the baseline.
Skip to the corner. Brownfield couldn't bank it in. That's a tough angle for a bank. Spun off. Holtman wide open. Buries it. That's a 3-ball from Abby Holtman.
Abby Holtman needed that three-point shot. She's been frustrated all game because it hasn't quite found her handle.
No dice for Messling. Good save on the sideline, but Bowman stepped on the sideline.
Well, what's fun about this play is Tanea Hilton skipped the ball past the post reversal because she saw teammate Abby Holtman wide open, and this is what Cincinnati likes to do, move the basketball and get those threes. They've been quiet from the three-point line, so all the Bearcats excited to finally making some mark. Perhaps Reagan Jackson opened up that basket for the Bearcats.
And once again, if you only looked at the coaches, AB, you would think they were 0 of 25 because you don't get much of a reaction from them.
I mean, to see Coach Barlow, Coach Jump, and, well, we saw Cabrina Merriweather, of course, no reaction at all. But when you see the coaches make a reaction, it must be something good.
Rolled off for Hayes, and Ndiba crashes the offensive glass. She has double-figure scoring now. Her first time in a Bearcats uniform getting to 10 points. This is a new season high for Cincinnati, 90 points. The previous high was 83. Flanagan trying to back her way down, and nifty over the shoulder shot there for Kennedy Flanagan.
Well, Kennedy Flanagan, one of those players who provides some leadership for Western Illinois. And though they may not get this win today, there are some strong things that they can build on as they go into the Ohio Valley Conference play.
Hayes swatted a couple of times inside. Messling, the last to get a hand on it. Hayes doing good work inside, but good defense on the interior for Western Illinois, leading us to a break. These are some of the upcoming schedule highlights for Western Illinois. Tennessee Tech on December 17th. Eastern Illinois on the 4th. And conference play continues to roll on going forward for Western Illinois following that. Cincinnati, their big one is the next game at Xavier, the Crosstown Shootout. That is on Sunday. That's at the Cintas Center. Marshall on the 18th before Big 12 play begins at Kansas State. A tough one to begin down in Manhattan, Kansas, against the top 25 Wildcats team. Serena Sundell last night had a triple-double for Kansas State. Nayoka Lee for the Wildcats is the new all-time program leader in points scored. She just cracked the top 10 in Big 12 program history, or in Big 12 conference history, I should say.
Cincinnati excited to start Big 12 play and equally excited for this crosstown shootout.
That's another 3 for Cincinnati. Reagan Jackson adding on to her career night, up to 27.
Well, Cincinnati having fun playing the game of basketball. And this is what you like to see in student athletes. There's a lot of pressure, a lot of stress, a lot of intensity. So when you have these moments where you can let loose, get a little cushion, and enjoy the joys of the game. On the tip out, offensive rebound, a lot of hands deflecting the ball out, finds its way to Reagan Jackson.
This has certainly been a very good showing from Cincinnati tonight, but I think a little bit of a disappointment maybe on the Western Illinois side. You had 4 players that came in averaging double figures, and I just don't think they played the way that they're going to play come conference play and down the stretch of this season, AB.
And a lot of that is because of the way Cincinnati was very disruptive with their ball pressure and with the press. In the OVC, there's a different style of play. So Western Illinois will do well. I think they're going to be able to play in the top half of this conference.
They're picked to finish 6th in the preseason poll for the Ohio Valley Conference. Southern Indiana is the favorite in the OVC this year. That's tipped out by Indiba. Now, next for Western Illinois is at St. Thomas. Coach Gravina told us that that's going to be almost like an audition for OVC play. They are in the Summit League, St. Thomas is, but Coach Gravina said that is a very comparable game, very comparable talent-wise for what they'll see in the OVC this year. So using Cincinnati as more of a nothing-to-lose game, see how they stack up against the Big 12, and then more of an official tune-up against St. Thomas on Saturday. Good up and under move from Reagan Jackson, who's one off of a 30-point game.
When you look at the way Reagan Jackson plays, you can't help but be reminded of Notre Dame star and WNBA superstar Skylar Diggins. Reagan Jackson can shoot at the 3. She can score at the rim. She can be quiet. She can be loud. She knows how to alter her game to fit whatever the team needs at that moment.
Cincinnati closing in on 100 points tonight. Man looking to create. That's a tough jumper, and it won't go down. And a foul on Byers, battling for the board.
So this is a pro move right here. Reagan Jackson beats one defender and then steps through a second defender. And just when you think she might try to kiss that off the glass, she has enough confidence in her soft touch with the floater. Maybe it is a flutch. A floater touch is a flutch.
I was just going to say, I think you invented a new word there. Could bring that to the WNBA where you coached for a number of years. The floach. The touch floater.
The Jackson floach.
That got deflected on Flanagan's 3 and a shot clock violation.
Talking a little bit about the WNBA here, Anthony. I know you always like to look at those comparisons, and perhaps on the Cincinnati roster, yet another reason to get down to Fifth Third Arena is because there's potentially 4 pro players on the court for the Bearcats when you look at their roster and what they're able to do. And of course, we're not even looking at the freshmen, but just sophomores, juniors, and seniors, you might have 4 potential pros.
Something encouraging is building here under the new coaching staff. Last season, Katrina Merriweather guided the Bearcats to their most wins since 2019. And they are just a minute away from their 6th win this season. Runner in the lane won't go down for Flanagan. You look at Western Illinois, I mean, Reagan McCowan is a walking highlight reel herself. That's a reason to go to Western Hall in Macomb, Illinois this year to check out the Leathernecks in OVC play. She's one of 4 players averaging double figures. Talk about 4 players potentially for Cincinnati having those aspirations, 4 really good ones for Western Illinois as well. Snyder misses right around the basket. 25 seconds to go in this game. Messling all alone up ahead, but Jackson recovered to knock it away.
Well, Ariel Jackson not with her head up, back on defense, and she's wondering who should have been back, and the film will let her know her assignment. Earlier in the game, you mentioned, Anthony, getting back in transition defense being important for both teams. And you talk about this game may be in the books, but there's always teachable moments.
12 seconds to go, and Mann's just gonna take the air out of the basketball. A big-time offensive showing for Cincinnati tonight, a season high, 95 points, and a career high for Reagan Jackson. 29 for the sophomore guard to power the Bearcats to the 43-point win over Western Illinois. 95-52, the final.
Impressive game across the board for the Cincinnati Bearcats. Jillian Hayes, the leading scorer for the Bearcats, finishes the game with 9 points and 10 rebounds. Alliance Ndiba, the rebounder for Cincinnati, finishes with 8 and then adds 10 points with that. And of course, Tanea Hilton, the dynamic point guard, 20 points for Cincinnati and 7 assists.